For decades, there was a single answer to one terrifying question. What was the largest snake to ever exist? The answer was Titanoboa, a 40-plus foot monster that ruled the swamps of ancient Colombia. A serpent so massive it could crush crocodiles and disappear entire animals into its coils. The undisputed king of prehistoric snakes. Or so we thought. Because in 2024, deep beneath the ground of Western India, paleontologists uncovered something that forced science to pause. Not a skull, not a full skeleton, just bones. But they were the wrong size. Vertebrae so massive that when scientists measured them, the numbers didn't make sense. They were thicker than Titanoboas, heavier, built to support a body unlike anything previously known. And suddenly, the question changed. What if Titanoboa was never the biggest snake? What if the true giant had been hiding in Asia all along? This is the story of Vasuki indicus, a prehistoric serpent so enormous that it may have rivaled, or even surpassed, the largest snake ever recorded. And this time, the evidence didn't come from myth. It came from stone. 66 million years ago, Earth had just survived catastrophe. The asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs had reshaped the planet. Forests burned, oceans acidified, entire ecosystems collapsed. But life didn't end. It reorganized. The Paleocene epoch that followed was a strange world, hot, humid, and unstable. Predators were gone, competition was low, and reptiles began to grow again. Not fast, not violently, but steadily. In the tropical regions of what is now India, massive wetlands spread across the land. Rivers flooded endlessly. Heat lingered year-round. And in these swamps, something began to grow. A snake, but not like the ones we know today. This snake wasn't built for speed. It wasn't built to strike and retreat. It was built for weight. When researchers examined the fossilized vertebrae, they realized something unsettling. The bones weren't long. They were thick, exceptionally thick. Each vertebra suggested a body designed to support extreme mass, a snake that relied on sheer size rather than length alone. That detail matters. Because Titanoboa was long, Vasuki was dense, and density changes everything. Titanoboa lived in what is now Colombia, in a superheated rainforest where temperatures were far higher than today. Its size was made possible by warmth, abundant prey, and oxygen-rich air. But Vasuki indicus lived thousands of kilometers away, on a landmass that had recently collided with Asia. India was still geologically unstable. Volcanic activity reshaped landscapes. Climate fluctuated. And yet, Vasuki grew, which raises an uncomfortable possibility. If Vasuki achieved its size in a less stable environment, what was it capable of? Based on vertebrae scaling, scientists estimate Vasuki may have reached lengths comparable to Titanoboa, possibly over 40 feet. But more importantly, it may have outweighed it. A heavier snake means stronger coils, more crushing power, greater dominance over prey. This was not a snake that needed to chase. It waited, and when it moved, the water moved with it. Imagine standing at the edge of a Paleocene swamp. The air is still, thick, silent. No birds, no mammals calling out warnings. Then the water shifts. Not ripples, displacement. A section of the swamp floor begins to rise as something beneath it repositions its body. Mud slides away, vegetation bends, and a coil the width of a tree trunk breaks the surface. Vasuki did not announce itself. It didn't need to. Everything around it already knew. This discovery did more than add a new name to the fossil record. It challenged a narrative science had grown comfortable with. That Titanoboa was the ceiling. That snakes reached their limit once and never again. But evolution does not respect our categories. It responds to opportunity. And in the aftermath of mass extinction, opportunity was everywhere. Which means Vasuki indicus may not have been an exception. It may have been a warning that when conditions align, nature does not hesitate to rebuild monsters. And this leads to the most unsettling question of all. If two snakes of this size existed on opposite sides of the world, how many others did we never find? When Vasuki indicus was announced, scientists were careful with their words. They did not declare it the largest snake ever. They did not strip Titanoboa of its crown overnight. Instead, they used language that made paleontologists lean forward. The vertebrae suggest Vasuki may have rivaled or exceeded Titanoboa in size. And that distinction matters, because snakes are not measured like dinosaurs or mammals. With snakes, you rarely find complete skeletons. You find fragments. And from those fragments, you reconstruct the animal using scaling laws refined over decades. The most important bones are the vertebrae, because in snakes, the vertebral column is the body. Each vertebra carries information about length, thickness, muscle attachment, and weight-bearing capacity. And Vasuki's vertebrae were abnormal, not longer than Titanoboa's, thicker, denser, built to support extraordinary mass. This immediately suggested a different kind of giant. Titanoboa was optimized for length, stretching across rivers and swamps like a living bridge. Vasuki appears to have been optimized for bulk, a snake designed to anchor itself, coil tightly, and crush with overwhelming force. When scientists compared Vasuki's vertebrae to those of modern large snakes and to Titanoboa's fossil record, the numbers began to align in unsettling ways. Length estimates placed Vasuki in the same range as Titanoboa, possibly approaching or exceeding 40 feet. But weight estimates hinted at something heavier, potentially much heavier. And weight, in a constrictor, is power. A heavier snake does not need speed. It does not need precision strikes. It wins by inevitability, by pressure that does not stop. But here is where the science becomes cautious. These estimates are based on incomplete remains. Scaling assumes proportional growth, and nature does not always obey our averages. Vasuki could have been slightly smaller, similar in size, or truly larger. We do not yet have enough bones to know. But what matters is not the exact number. What matters is that Titanoboa is no longer alone at the top. For the first time, scientists must consider that multiple snake lineages independently reached extreme size. And that changes how we understand prehistoric ecosystems. Because reaching that size requires very specific conditions: heat, abundant prey, long-term environmental stability. Which means Vasuki did not exist by accident. Its world allowed it. And if its world allowed it, then Titanoboa's world was not unique. Giant snakes were not a one-time experiment. They were a recurring outcome when the planet was ready for them. This realization reframes the question entirely. We are no longer asking which snake was bigger. We are asking how often nature produced monsters like this, and how close together they lived in time. Because Vasuki lived in the Paleocene, just like Titanoboa, in the immediate aftermath of the dinosaur extinction, a moment when the old rulers were gone and the new ones had not yet arrived. A heavier snake means tighter coils, more sustained pressure, less need for precision. Once Vasuki wrapped around something, there was no escape, not through struggle, not through endurance. And this raises a crucial point. When people ask which snake was bigger, they usually mean length. But in nature, length is not dominance. Masses. A shorter but heavier constrictor can exert more force than a longer, lighter one. It can subdue larger prey. It can hold longer. It can kill with certainty rather than speed. So if Vasuki was even slightly shorter than Titanoboa, but significantly heavier, it may have been the more dangerous animal. But science stops us before certainty. We do not yet have enough bones. Titanoboa is known from multiple specimens. Vasuki is known from fewer remains. Future discoveries could shrink Vasuki's estimates, or expand them. That uncertainty is not weakness. It is honesty. And it leads us to the most important conclusion of all. There was no single largest snake. There was an era of giants, multiple lineages, multiple regions, multiple monsters. Titanoboa in South America, Vasuki in India, separated by oceans, connected by climate. Both arose in the same narrow window of time, just after the greatest mass extinction in Earth's history. Both exploited the same opportunity, a world suddenly emptied of dominant predators, flooded with heat, water, and prey. And both vanished when that opportunity closed. This tells us something profound. Titanoboa was not a fluke. Vasuki was not an anomaly. They were outcomes. When the planet becomes permissive, life does not hesitate to grow extreme. And that brings us to the final thought. The reason these snakes unsettle us is not just their size. It's the implication. Because if Earth produced giants like this twice, on opposite sides of the world, in the same era, then the age of monsters was not unique. It was temporary, and temporary things can return. The largest snake ever may not be a single animal frozen in stone. It may be a role, one the planet fills whenever the conditions are right. If you enjoy deep-time documentaries like this, grounded in science, told cinematically, and focused on real prehistoric life, subscribe to Chronicles of the Past. Like this video if the scale of ancient Earth surprised you. Comment below, which snake do you think was truly greater? And share this with someone who still thinks Titanoboa stood alone.